And here is more control. Thank you for tuning into Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is October 16th, 2020, and if you saw my Terry Lynn's Top 12 today, I talked about London is about to go on serious lockdowns, and it talked about people could not intermingle from household to household, and I talked about just hypothetically, okay? Hypothetically, I said that means if you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're not going to be able to see each other. You're not going to be able to go watch TV with each other. You can't spend time with each other. So look at this article that just came out. Sex banned indoors for Tier 2 couples living apart, number 10 confirms. So no more hanky-panky. Remember in the beginning they were saying find yourself a sex partner during the lockdown. But now if you live apart from them, no hanky-panky. Now let's read this. And, you know, I'm a Christian, but I'm just saying these are grown people that are now being told by the government who they can socialize with and who they can't socialize with. And the left wants to say you can't politicize or legislate my morality. You know how that was what the left said in the 80s and 90s. But that's exactly what's happening right now when they restrict your ability to move around. Let's get into this article. Couples living apart in areas with Tier 2 restrictions are not allowed to have sleepovers unless they are in a support bubble, Downing Street confirmed today. Boyfriends and girlfriends will be able to meet outdoors in Tier 2, but are expected to adhere to social distancing rules such as hands, face, and space. They must also adhere to the rule of six. So I guess you're going to be in your invisible 6-foot bubble with your little fishy cartoon fish rolling around you. You can wave to each other, blow each other kisses, air kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The Prime Minister official spokesman told a briefing of Westminster journalists the rules on household mixing in Tier 2 set out that you should mix with your own household only unless you formed a support bubble, and that obviously does not apply to some couples. A support bubble is a network between a single person home and one other household of any size, according to the government rules. Do y'all see all the new all the new world words coming out? Support bubble, the rule of six, tier 1, tier 2. This is like we are kindergartners and they're laying out new rules for us. It comes as both London and Essex are set to be plunged into Tier 2 at midnight tonight. Asked why there was no exemptions for people in established relationships in Tier 2, he replied, because the purpose of the measures that were put in place is to break the chain in which transmission between households, and the scientific advice is there is greater transmission of the virus indoors. Ask if ask why there is no exemption. Okay, we read that. Ask if couples in Tier 2 can meet outside. He said yes, as it was set out in the guidance that was published this week. The ban on household mixing is in relation to indoors and outdoors. The rules of six apply. He also said people living in Tier 2 areas should not go to Tier 1 areas to socialize indoors. So now they're restricting your ability to move around your city. He added, as has been the case throughout this pandemic, whether in following guidance or more recently when we placed it into law, you should behave at all times. You should behave at all times in the basis of the tier that you live in. So if you live in Tier 2, you you leave tier 2, you should continue to behave under the tier 2 tier rules for tier 2. This means someone from tier 2, he said, could not leave the area to go socialize in a pub in tier 1 area. So, you can't have people at your house. If somebody says, hey, meet me across town over here, and they're in a different tier in this pandemic, you are restricted. Now, I cannot wait to see how they're going to enforce this and who belongs in what tier and how they know who's going to belong in what tier and who lives together in the same house and who doesn't live together in the same house. What is this going to look like? Is this going to mean door-to-door searches and verifying the situation? Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.